Overpass. And coming off a very frustrating end to Ancient, unable to get the close rounds over the line for UNGENTIUM. They're going to have to try and rally and regain here on a map that has not been comfortable for them of late. And it looks, Alan, like we're going to get a very quick B-pop here. Flashbang over, bing, bang, boo. Let's go. Here's the hit. Plum check. Gonna get one with the CZ. Some impact at least, but Sydney gonna connect the shot. Bomb likely to be planted. The smoke for cover, but a man advantage for UNGENTIUM in the post plant. That could be good. Stare. If he can find this kill, that means that they don't have to worry about the flank, but he's unable to. I mean, they're gonna need a big play from Slacks or Refresh. Slacks already taken down one. Refresh doing some damage, but for Slacks, it's about babysitting that bomb now. That's a tough ask. Easier when it's a 1v1. Okay, never mind. Oh, we got it on. Full 10 seconds. He just has to keep the player off. And Dooley's not actually the pistol you'd want for this fight at range. Slacks buying a ton of time for the team. Buying a ton of time on the clock. And he's just keeping that defuse from coming through. There's nothing Matty can do about it.
And that, boys and girls, is where you plant for heaven. When the smoke is down mid-site. That was beautiful. UNGENTIUM were doing a 3A pistol, so they didn't really have the numbers in defense. Had to see the bomb site. Actually looked pretty good for them. But Slacks is a beast. Slacks is a monster. He had a great game on Ancient, especially when it was going a late round and into those after plants. And yeah, Slacks is having one of those days. He can do no wrong. He is a god.
He is a god. He is. I mean, he's just such a clutch monster as well, right? He just seems to me like one of those players who's pretty unflappable. We see it a lot, and in a team like this, where, you know, first time IGL, 3 very young players, relatively untested on the global stage, that kind of coolness under pressure, left me dead. Oh, okay, timing. Works out nicely for him, at least to get one. But that kind of coolness under pressure, that kind of unflappability, goes mild. Zyphon. I mean, okay, so these early engagements not exactly as favorable as Sprout would want. The round's never in doubt, and it's just MAC-10's given over, but UNGENTIUM at least prevent the glut of kills coming through off of the SMGs.
2 kills, given the investment, is already a result. We'll see if they choose to probe any further in search of more. Doesn't really look like it. Don't know why he's saving MAC-10s, so I'd like to see them make a more of a concerted effort.
I mean, oddly enough, Grubby with the Molotov is the best thing to save.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
It's the thing that's valuable in the next round.
Is anyone going to play on a MAC-10 in the next round?
They've got 2.
I'd be impressed.
This would be a choice. Let's see. Let's see what they're going to do. It would allow them to go super heavy into utility without issue. Could even perhaps like drop a rifle over to Matty. Make sure that everybody could get util.
You can see them both debating it.
They're thinking about it. What do you do if you're gonna? Yeah. Okay.
All right,
we're going in.
Sydney's all in.
What are they doing then? What are they doing with it? Both are gonna head towards B.
You gotta play close monster or something.
Construction maybe. Go for the construction push. Take that ground. They're not doing it. They're actually playing pretty conservative. Sydney's gonna set up nades. I mean, this is kind of just a default with MAC-10s. This is it's gonna be really interesting if we do get a B-side hit. Huh. Not often you see teams just pretend they don't have the SMGs in an SMG round.
All the timing. Oh, Matty. Big frag. Trade is nice from Zyphon, and they just don't expect Prism at all. Zyphon finally gets his second. Warming up into this game after a rough Ancient, and breaks applied. 3-on-3, and yeah, Sprout can now just toy with their food a little bit. There's no need to rush onto A.
Alan, it feels like we're getting a lot of these rounds where players are just forgetting that someone can be in a position. It was a problem on Ancient as well for Sprout. Players getting through, being unchecked, getting blind kills from the corners and towards like Cave and Jaguar. And I mean, you see it there towards the A bathrooms. It's a tricky position to play against. Don't get me wrong, but okay, here's gonna be the play. Slacks coming in towards Bank. He's got a Max on the other side. Needs this kill. He's not got it. There's an upgrade available for Sydney, and Sydney, well, he might think it's coming towards his site, but it's not. Instead, the rifle's now beautifully set up. Grubby is going to be able to trade this, brings it down to the 1v1, and he's got it all. Sprout fumbling in a round with limited buys on their opponent's side, and that's a great find for UNGENTIUM early.
They do like some scrappy Counter-Strike on this CT side. I don't know, Sprout. I've seen a few of these rounds now where we've got, you know, one lurker really pressuring a site, got two going for the other. And I do question it a little bit whether in this matchup they'd be better off just playing Mega Standard and just being always groups. But I think they just win out in the majority of scenarios. But don't take any credit away from UNGENTIUM. 2 Mac 10s doesn't matter. Especially not in Sydney over there. And they're playing a very passive game. Wow, they're giving up all of A, UNGENTIUM. This is unbelievably passive at the start.
It does mean they're going to be able to hold on to their nades very effectively, though. Which seems to be the gamble they're making. Prism doesn't have any. Put a lot of pressure on Matty to deploy that util and to also zone out space at the AWP. But at least for now, their bluff hasn't been called. Sprout are very methodically taking this space in towards bathrooms, having lost a couple casualties here very awkwardly in the last round. They don't want that to happen again. And they're going to test the AWP. Ooh, that is a tag through the wall. But a tag nonetheless. Util kind of needs to be deployed here. I don't know if they realize quite how close all these players are. The execute's going to come through, and this could get awkward. Prism.
Ooh, the barrel. The barrel.
This barrel spotting. Ah, Refresh knows now there has to be a flashbang for this. There is going to be. And it works. But it catches Prism as well? Was there a counter flash? How was he seen? All right, he's dead to rights. Has been for a while. It's just a matter of time. And Matty missing that first shot. May not get another. Sydney holds the line. Sydney holds the line. 2 big kills. Looking for the third. Not quite going to have that. And that should allow space for Sprout to get that bomb planted. Nothing that can be done further to deny this. But the retake is on. And really slow to get around with his teammate. And so he's going to be alone. And he'll just save.
Yeah, I think Grubby thought that was a truck plant. Because he mollied out truck first over the plant spot on default. And wow, that was... I guess Prism just hasn't played that position very much. He's had no idea his barrel would be exposed. If that was an M4 silence, it sticks out even further, I'm quite confident. So, yeah, that's a bit of a catastrophe. That was not how that setup's meant to work. I don't like them playing on the site anyway. I don't think it's a good way to play when you've got all those nades. Resmoke divider, play into it. But I didn't expect it to crumble in that manner. That was quite spectacular.
I mean, they're going to have to eco this one. That's a shame, right? Winning the round off 2 Mac 10s. It's a huge shot in the arm for your economy going forward. It's a huge find. Big round early, and they just can't build on it. So, tough spot for the long game. Provided Sprout don't have any blunders here, they should be setting themselves up really nicely into this Overpass game. That is a big provided, to be fair, Alan. I feel like Sprout have been...
Did you watch a...
uncharacteristically sloppy.
Ooh, the boost. Beautiful.
All right. Love it. That's a great way to take one rifle and make it impactful.
Come on. Come on.
Lau seems to know. He's a very aware player, and it feels like he might know.
I think he's more scared just of a general push. He knows the economy. He knows his teammates across the map. But here comes a bit of risk. If they try and crunch into B short from connector as well, maybe the Romanian he'll push forward. Oh, here we go.
Bomb's coming this way. Bomb's coming. Did he spot? Did he spot? He saw it. He saw it. Oh, Lau and X isn't punished. If he hadn't seen it, if he hadn't gotten that awareness, the bomb would have wandered right in. It could have been disastrous. Instead, now they do know there's a lot of players in towards this position. Sydney, flying shot. Oh, anything but a USP, and that's 2 kills. It still is 2 kills. A little bit of a greater cost on Prism. Now has a chance to save an AK. That's a huge find. Can Matty get the next? Might be around the corner.
It's actually outrageous how many rounds Zyphon's been shot in the back in this series already.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a combination of he is genuinely playing quite badly and immensely bad luck in some of these scenarios. But yeah, whatever you want to cut it. You don't want to be Zyphon today. He's
we could get
not enjoying himself.
You know, Lon just does those unlucky or bad videos.
Mm.
Maybe this one would just be both.
Unlucky and bad.
I think he's been
Few
fine so far on
series.
Overpass. Ancient just wasn't his day. He was making a lot of solo plays towards A, and they weren't working. So, don't want to pile on too hard just yet. We'll see. There's more rounds. We can save it. Plenty of time for us to dogpile.
We need to save some material, you know? We can't... We need to ration that. Okay. What's the call, boys? Orbs out on Matty, and... There we go. Orby? No, we're not. We're just juggling nades. Matty's back over. And... Yet to have any real impact on his AWP, so... We love him to find an entry, find an opening, punish the defaults. And, yeah, he's set up on A at the moment, so maybe somebody will come his way.
It's only the second round where they've had the up. He was nice with it on Ancient. It felt like, again, it's such a... Ancient's such a tough map, because it felt like UNGENTIUM did so many things nicely, and they just couldn't actually win rounds. Especially on that second half, they couldn't.
They're missing that critical component of Counter-Strike.
Closing, yeah.
Winning the round. Unbelievably slow T-calls coming out from Sprout. So reserved. Aim control only now coming.
Is do you think part of this is attributable to how dynamic UNGENTIUM were on Ancient? How much trouble Sprout had reading them?
No, I
so
think
now
it's
they're
because
just
Refresh was on the other side of the map and he couldn't mid-round them.
That'll also be it. I'm curious about who's the secondary voice within it, right? Because Lau, at least in his interviews, is a pretty vocal player. But you'd expect it to be Slacks, maybe,
It
who's
should
giving
be
that secondary
Slacks.
information.
To be honest, I don't know that much about Slacks as a person.
Oh, timing.
Ooh.
Timing.
Okay, oh.
I think he may have spotted the barrel flicking around the corner. And
Well,
that looks good.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, you don't need to call information if you just kill everybody. The best kind of call to get as a player is when, instead of it being like one's connector, it's just one dead connector, one dead bathrooms, one dead site.
That's what
Round
Boros used to call.
Was it? He would only call when he killed them?
He wouldn't, I mean... Sorry to throw him under the bus, but his comms were not amazing. Put it that way.
Young
But
player,
yes,
young player.
there was sometimes rounds. I remember particularly we were playing Anonymo, so that was Snacks and Kiat and Kyla. We've seen quite a lot over the last week.
Yeah.
There was the round where Boros, I think he aced. No, he got a 4K and he didn't go get the ace. This was the last round of the series, I think, on Mirage T side, and he just ran out A and he just like. One dead default, one dead stairs, one dead connector. This quickly. One dead jungle. And everyone else is just like, okay, good round, team. Applaud ourselves.
We've got a hero rifle on this one. Prism's gone in.
I'd love them to just do the boost again and just not even care what happened last time.
I mean, they kind of have to, right? What do you do in this angle? You don't even really have utility to set them up. Like, I guess Pawncheck or Matty could get some flashes, but otherwise, nobody's got a flash, which is upsetting. Time's gonna be taken here.
Pawncheck can get one. I have faith.
Matty can too. Come on, just a flashbang, just one. As a treat. Matty wants the up though. Pawncheck thinks flashes are for sissies.
It is true though. Some nades here would be very helpful because you can't do anything.
It's gonna be really tough to set up the rifle. They're just gonna go for the boost again. They're gonna do it. Up on the sandbags. Ooh, maybe just aggression in towards construction. All right, so slightly different flavor of a similar idea. Full 5-man stack in towards B, and the bomb's headed this way. Uh-oh. Sprout making the straightforward call, and they're going to find themselves with a whole lot of resistance. Bodies coming back the other way. Prism gets one, and that's bombed down. That's man advantage. This is a catastrophe. And Stare, does he run out of bullets there? With an AK? Okay, recovery time for Slacks. He was their ace in the hole on Ancient. He's trying to do it again here. Setting up the space. Molotov to make sure he can't get peeked upon. Sydney, don't think he has a health to even test that. And Slacks is going to say, okay, you can have the B site. I am faking a rotation A. Sydney doesn't bite. Sydney doesn't bite. Slacks is trying to fake that this is going A. And Sydney has not moved a muscle. So now the blown plant will come in. This will coax Sydney forward. Just a 5-7 here in the clutch. But it's all about timing. It's all about timing. Oh, he does. He does. Now they know. Now they know. Slacks dancing. Dancing with a devil, but he's good for it. Again, Slacks pulls his team from the fire.
Yeah, ice in his veins. Wow. That was a mess for Sprout. Straight into 5 players. Entries immediately traded. And Stair can't get anything done coming out of connector. What are we up to now? That is 4th. I want to say 4th 1vx for Slacks. Definitely 3rd. But I think it might be 4th now for the series. And that is mightily impressive.
Prism takes that Molotov, gives a little bit of information. He dumped them all himself, so it's not like it was a secret. But he'll back off the spot as a result. This one's a little more straightforward from Sprout. Probably thinking they're lucky stars. The last one didn't go out of control. And they're getting a lot of space for free outside A. Again, team have fallen back into this very passive setup, and they're just going to leave Maddie here. So just Maddie. There's a freebie. Okay. Stair wanders into his crosshair. Why not?
Where did they think the ult was?
I don't know. You get another one. No! Slacks has it this time. Call Slacks the backbone of this team right now because he is really holding them upright.
Okay, all eggs in A basket. 4 over here for Sprout. Nades primed. Prisms behind the swap van. So we've got Sydney nearby, but they're really isolated out by this utility. Should be no contest now getting this bomb down.
Down, refresh, got it. And with the util, again, being a problem. There's a
They
single
needed a
Molotov.
smoke for this.
This is so tough. This is so rough. Pawncheck's not even close. He's playing late again, which has been a hallmark of this UNGENTIUM team. First one out, first one dead, right into the sight lines, right into the blender. You got no nades to cover. And surprisingly, unsurprisingly rather, against this caliber of a team, that's just, it's not viable. It's just not viable. So, Pawncheck on the save. A 7th round on for Sprout. This is already a success. Looking for more. Xiphon. Keep that gun out of their grips.
Good recovery. And yeah. UNGENTIUM's playing a very passive A stance. They lose Matty there, and they're so willing to just play and bank and jump up. They don't really have the nades for a retake. Troubling half. Troubling half, of course. Coming into this one, we knew that we knew where the stats sided in terms of UNGENTIUM and where they've been at on Overpass.
Yeah.
They made a good go of some of these rounds. I still think the scoreline's a little unfair, given there's been some close afterplants. It's just, you know, if on Ancient they could get rounds really close and it was the last 1%, this one is a little bit more for Sprout. Sprout are much more comfortable. And Slacks is unkillable, which helps.
Yeah, I think everyone owes Slacks a nice pat on the back. Barry's probably giving him a shoulder massage right now because he is the stud right now for the team. The reliable.
You can't muck about in this format either.
No.
There's nowhere to hide.
2 games is all you get if you're losing.
Yeah, man, if as soon as you're in the lower bracket, that's it. You're in the lower bracket for the whole tournament.
It's pretty brutal, as the format goes. Unforgiving, for sure. Ooh, refresh. For contact here, you might get it. This time it's not the full B stack, but look at the position for Sydney. We finally got someone aggressively postured on A, and it might lead to a catch a stare if they find the timing.
All good nades. That was cheeky.
Do they know they have B now? They should have a pretty good idea they have B now. They killed 2 players here. Even if it's the stack, you got the rifles, you can comfortably roll on in. And as Stair slips into connector, he even avoids the situation where he could have gotten caught. Everything's coming up roses for Sprout. For once. They don't have to worry. They don't have to stress. They don't have to give their fans a heart attack late into the round. Seems like they should just be able to take this one for free. Stair could get caught.
I would enjoy a content piece of heart rate monitors attached to Sprout fans.
Ah, Sydney. If he'd gone through with that, they would have likely gotten a gun. Stair would have been in a tough spot. Sydney opts to reroute instead. And what's still possible, this kill comes
Stair
through.
on the
Should be a pretty good
stairs.
fight for Stair. Yeah. All good.
Beautiful. Well, that was pretty easy in the end. Double nades doing work. Well, that was just a half buy. Full investment now. Pause. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest because... I don't know. What's the limit here? If Sprout get more than... If they get up to 10, that feels a little bit much to come back from. So, quick discussion. What we're going to change. What isn't working. Obviously, Matty... we don't want to bag on him too much, but an AWP is such a massive weapon on the CD side of Overpass. And
I just want to see him hunt early. Don't sit and bank. Go kill, young man. Take the found
got to do it spawn. Peek
Swing out
connector,
long.
or mid.
Let it swang. Sometimes you just gotta let that op hang, you know?
Alright, well, he has a good spawn. He's heading for mid. Let's have a peek. Let's have a cheeky peek. There we go. And we're flashed off.
Addy.
I don't know if he sticks around.
Those nades. I get that Sydney wasn't quite in position for them to kill him. But I don't know how they didn't do any damage.
1 damage.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
1
Super
damage.
impactful. Super impactful. I feel like if you could turn and look at the nades and your whole screen would be taken up by the impact cloud, like the explosion cloud, it should do some damage, you know?
Stop trying to integrate.
Oh, Matty gets away with this one. This is huge. A little bit more of aggressive posturing, but he's lost his bodyguard at Prism, and he doesn't feel comfortable getting away, so Slacks is going to do the process of elimination.
It's just a Terminator.
Just put a shot through. Dude is unrelenting. Unrelenting, and now it's all on to Sydney. It's all on to Sydney. This round hangs on Sydney. His teammates aren't even close to rotating.
There's
so now
so many nades coming his way.
His teammates are already thinking about saving, is the thing. Or not. Sprout, show face on A, and then hit B. Trying to throw a little bit of a fake in here. Bonchak could shut this down, and he's killed the man who is unkillable in Slacks. Sprout had it wrapped up with a bow. If they'd just gone A, there was little Sydney could have been expected to do. Instead, now, time expiring. The pressure smoke. That's refresh down for the count. And years around, much needed for UNGENTIUM.
Bizarre. Bizarre. How much do I blame Sprout for that?
Feels like they outthought
It's
themselves.
yeah, it's a very common man advantage to throw a fake because you're assuming that the other team is going to over rotate because they have a man down. But UNGENTIUM just didn't move. Guess my gripe with Sprout there is that they don't probe the A site really. They just throw a load of nades. If one player's even kind of jiggling their way in, they probably see nothing and tell everyone else to come over. So, ooh, cheeky boost. Nice. Entry found.
Grubby time. Grubby time is ended. Slacks time. He's morally offended that he got killed this last round. Wants to correct the score on that one. Knows where Matty is. Well, will die, but trade is instant. Slacks is undeniable. Slacks is inevitable at this point on Overpass. And I mean, for Prism, this is just about fighting to be able to save. And he will at least pass that test. But the hounds are on him. There's only one who really strikes fear into me, and that's Slacks. He's being funneled forward. He's being funneled forward. Zyphon is about to be here on the flank. He's not making a secret of this. Full Thunderfoot. Okay. All right. Bygone. Slack says, nope, 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 nope. I'm out.
Go on, Prism. Come down, Connector.
No. It's getting so valuable.
They really should have been able to kill him. With 3 players hunting. That's a bit of a mess. Could, if they lose 2 gun rounds, could force an eco, losing those guns. I don't see that as likely, because what we got at the moment is Slacks versus Launx for who can rack up the most frags. And as you've gone through this half, Launx has just got more and more and more aggressive on B. He knows if he gets out a monster, he's going to lose some heads.
It is always interesting when a young aggressive player like Launx just figures out he can get away with something. Prism on the other side, trying to bring a bit of fight, maybe emboldened. By the end of that last round, he was a big piece on Ancient. This is messy, and a messy chase for Refresh will be punished. Maddie's committed. A little bit too long. That smoke fade didn't really feel like he had anywhere to go, and turns out he was correct. So Sprout started to take some ground outside A.
Off it is.
Whoa, that was a choice. That was a real choice from Lau. He thought he was going to catch a player off guard. Drops on down.
Big
for Grubby, it's about holding the line.
Big jewel.
They know where all 3 are now. If they kill this backside player, it's a free play-in. I was spotted both outside of B, right? Yeah, he did. Sydney collected. Grubby's gotten up to the truck. They will now. Might be too late. This would be another huge one from Slacks. He knows he just has to go quick. The no-scope hit. Plenty of time for the bomb plant. He's even going to come off it to get that kill. Again and again and again. Slacks just has clutched down to every pore of his being.
Oh, I love this man. It's just beautiful. Can do no wrong. And, I don't know. Only German man left on Sprout. Gotta be repping that flag. Where has this come from? Slacks has just been a monster. An absolute monster in these first 2 maps. They can't kill him at all in a late round scenario. 10-2 for Sprout. We expected this to be, let's say, a comfortable win on Overpass, but not like this. This is a train wreck.
On the pawn check. Can't even really do anything with it. They got the position. They just want to take the guns away. Maybe a little overeager for Zyphon, but can you blame him? Can you blame him? The bomb's going to be going down, and it's going to be 11 rounds on the board for Sprout.
You know, the scoreline, at least in the second half, isn't that distinct from Ancient. This just feels a lot more dominant. Sure, there's been some close rounds. Sure, Slacks has bailed them out 2 or 3 times. But it just doesn't feel like UNGENTIUM are getting into any of these rounds convincingly.
Yeah, they're getting smacked on. I mean, they have, to be fair to them, forced a lot of clutches out. He's had at least 2 1v2s and a 1v3. But, damn,
I think the majority of those actually have been on low buys. I don't think in a rifle round they've taken Sprout that close on many occasions. It's actually on the pistols where they've almost depressingly made it closer. Certainly feels like this A-bomb site has been quite a big weakness. It's not just individually Matty and Prism. It's how many times have we seen one of them gets picked off and the other one is either also in the open and dies or is not on the same page and is somewhere else. It's just not really clicking. Not really finding any you know, good positions.
Actually, will be seated, double pushing towards construction instead from the Ingentium side. But it does mean presence is relatively light here by the bathrooms, and Refresh is taking full advantage. He's got room, he's got ground, and that's a big kill to find early for Zyphon. Grubby can't quite trade it. He'll hold on to the position, but means that these two players B don't feel comfortable rotating just yet. Matty has to do some damage here from the side. Has to do it. He's caught down and dropped, and now they spot the last. They eliminate. It's over. This round is over. It's insane to say. It's going to be 12-2, but Ungentium need to save. They have been absolutely bludgeoned throughout this half, and this is just another round of domination.
Just doesn't feel like there's any slowing Sprout down. Another trade comes in. Grubby. They know where he is. Hounds are released. And say a prayer, Grubby, because good luck.
All right, he's good for the first. Stare. And there we go. A stare of death.
Stare of death. Death stare.
That's his
he needs a
metal
slogan,
band
doesn't
alter
he?
ego. Do you think... Okay, hear me out. He needs to include a pair of eyes in his sticker.
Well, he's already made it.
I know. Next time. Actually, let me see. What's their sticker? Sure he's tweeted about it.
Oh, that was aggressive. Sydney hits the deck. With two teammates actually nearby. Matty also dies. This is a catastrophe. It's just Prism against the world as Sprouts around him.
Ah, he's the one with the leaf in it. It's actually quite nice. Mid through. Zyphon chasing. We'll bring that kill back at the very least.
This is falling apart.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not off the rails just yet. But there's at least a chance for Ungentium now. The rotations have been on for both sides. Body's moving, and Prism's actually going to commit to this. There's a minute still. They've got plenty of time, but the util's gone, so they're just going to kind of brute force it. And Grubby's on the angle. Grubby's on the angle, and he's got the shot. He put down the unkillable man. Only the 4th death for Slacks this entire half. But, well, with this catch, that should be the round. Just about. Stare, it's time to show us what you got to work. Got the first, the cost of much of his health. Bomb can be retrieved, but he doesn't expect a position for Grubby, and at the very least, we get a 3rd round from Ungentium to take us to the half. 12-3 reads the score line. Sprout up substantially as they dominate on their T side. I mean, some rounds got shaky. UNGENTIUM able to make some rounds close, but in some
All the
total,
flashes.
just not enough. Flash is coming over. Stair wants to take the fight because he realizes there's two players. Oh, they flash their way through. Labor duels. Eating every pistol bullet, but they will eventually get him, and it's come back the other way. What is happening in this round? Madness again, but it comes down to a 1v2 for Maddie, and he is going to take the smart move and leave the site.
He doesn't know where Lonks is.
Get a bomb plant. I think Lonks did actually come into that monster fight a little bit. Might have been lost in the confusion, but he's making a read here. He is correct.
It's not B, Zyphon. Need to get your way up. I don't think there's a kid on the ground. And look at Lonks taking this fight. Ooh, that is risky. Good deal, he stays alive and now can play off his teammate.
He hasn't been able to connect the shot yet either. Now they know they've got him pushed back in towards the bank. One's going to be able to focus out. The other one can get on the bomb defuse. Good shot. Maddie had to have it. They thought he'd slipped long, it seems.
This is over. No kit.
He's got it. He's got it on the time. He's just keeping them off of the bomb, and that's all he needs. Lonks will get the kill, but not the round. And this gives a chance, at least, for UNGENTIUM to get fighting.
What a messy pistol. There are a lot of missed shots from both teams. But Sprout, flash out a monster. Both those players are blind as bats. And still, the trades are reasonably even. They'll be kicking themselves, not keeping that cleaner. And, yeah. We're playing on. UNGENTIUM not going to throw in the towel just yet. It's a heck of a long road back. But that was checkbox number 1. Give him a tick. Here comes number 2. Force Spy.
Seems like we're going to get a pretty fast monster play here. Set up for it at least. This double con presence could catch. Just Prism over there. And Refresh is going to be very much on an island. Staying alive in the water, trying to dump the smoke, but they're ahead of it. They are so quick into it. That's nice and decisive.
Yeah, save. Save. They're just playing 1B there, stacking connector, leaning in other directions. And, yeah, Sprout will regret not chaining a few more smokes on Monster. That could have held the Terrace players at bay. But, yeah, it's not the end of the world. Save here. Buy, have this buy again in the next. And have another go. Has to be said that Ponjek and Grubby are doing pretty well given how much their team has been battered.
Yeah, it's actually astounding when you look at their individual numbers. Ponchek was B-anchoring, I think, a lot in the first half.
Only Slacks has more kills than him.
A lot of frags, but not a lot of rounds. He was good over on Ancient as well. It was a nightmare going in towards the B side, entrying for them. Let's see if they're going to get back towards that. Ponchek and Prism are the aggressive players. Looks like, hey, it worked last round. Let's try it again.
Yeah, 4 here this time. Bit more of a defense.
Yeah, might have been a little bit of an adjustment. 1 pound. Not quite 2 found, though. Black playing the good. Zyphon dealt with. Do they realize they're heading into the stack? I don't think they've seen 2 of these players. Problem is, it's just pistols remaining. But, hey, Refresh. Says that's not a problem at all.
Slacks, look at him.
This is gonna be huge. He's coming around on the flank. They have to be watching for it. They have to be ready for it. If he gets on the angle, there we go. Slacks gets the kill, and it's all into Prism in a 1v3 to try and recover. And that is why you don't run the same strat 2 times in a row. Prism eliminated. The USP takes him out.
It was marginally different. Not dramatically.
How?
About 10 seconds slower. But apart from that, pretty much the same. And I still thought they were going to win that after trading Lonks. It looked pretty good. They just never got out on the flashes. They just allowed Sprout to stall out just enough. And they actually died quite a few to the USPs in the end, so that's a bit of a tragedy. a lot of this map has been so far. And Slacks is a god. He's just the best ever.
He is just the best. Another tag on as well. No HE to chase it, but Slacks will now know he has to reposition. They're still pressing forward. This is the one player in the server I would really not want to get into a duel with.
I think we need some nades.
Something. Flashbangs. Something to take him off his angle. Molotov will force him back. This is nicely done from UNGENTIUM, but the position from Stair could be huge. They are watching for it, and he's going to get his bell rung. A bit of an awkward engagement there from Stair. Slacks, though, finishes what he started on the one. The second as well. Oh my god, Slacks. Unreal. He just looks so smooth into these fights. Now he's got support. I think Siphon's up top. He might actually be back graffiti. No, he is up top. And it's just Slacks holding court. Lau now in on the flank. Leaves it everything to Ponchak. He's gotten some kills, but this one's not going to happen. No way, no how. 14 for Sprout.
You can already see the contrast between Matty and Slacks in terms of playstyle. Matty would have played site immediately after losing mid, whereas Slacks has more confidence in himself to continue playing towards the banana, the divider side, towards toilets. And that's where you get all your value out of the AWP on the CT side, is they're so hard to get through all of those angles. And yeah, Slacks is there's only one B. Guys, you've only got one B, and there's 5 coming.
Zyphon. Poor Zyphon. The lonely side anchor in so many rounds for these guys.
We need a rotate.
Get smoked. They're bringing Lounge down, but it's a little slow. And Zyphon nearly gets caught on the flashbang. That could have been bad. He gets 2. This will make it easier, but wow, gets his bell wrong, and now guns are picked up. Far from comfortable for UNGENTIUM. They've been chewed up, but there's a chance. Tell me there's a chance. Not something. Slacks. Backboard graffiti expecting a push into him, especially with the time that's being taken.
I don't know how you plant here, Mike. There's so many nades as well to drop on the bomb, and Slacks is 16 steps ahead every time.
22 kills through 19 rounds. Nice. And this one will secure... wait. I suppose it was through 20 rounds.
Slacks has 5 deaths, and UNGENTIUM has 5 rounds. Coincidence?
I think not. I think not. There was admittedly one round. Oh no, actually they didn't win that. I was going to say there was one round where Slacks survived and they won, but they didn't. That was the round where Prism got the 3K in the post, but he was already lost. Save. Yeah, kill Slacks 1 round.
Guys, stop only playing a few players B. And UNGENTIUM just go B.
This time at least there's 2 here. And as information gets gained towards the playground, they're going to rotate pretty quickly. Yeah, they know it's coming. They know it's going to be the rush again. Zyphon gets overwhelmed after Zyphon. Wow, gets into the pit. He gets dropped. These Tech 9s have been good. And this is an even situation. If anything, this is better than last time. This could be rough. But the insurance policy, the man who makes it happen, Slacks, is coming back on the angle and with Refresh working his way back from T-spawn. Very contentious.
Nobody's looking for this flank. This is working perfectly.
First one found. First domino to fall. Construction is the insurance policy. They have kids on everybody. No concern there. And the construction player fights. Oh no, Prism. That was your chance at the round. Instead, the defuse will be on, and Sprout are taking this one straight to the bank. 16-5 in their opening Challenger League matchup. What a way to start Season 43.
Quite a contrast as well to Ancient, where there were quite a lot of mistakes. It was quite messy. And Overpass. We need to change the CT cooling, guys. We stop leaving B so open. But apart from that, couldn't really gone any better. And Slacks is ready for the major, man. He is so ready. Look at him.
I love it. I love it.